On April 19, 2025, thousands of Orthodox Christians gathered at Jerusalem's Church of the Holy Sepulchre.
Urgent warning. Around the world today, millions are nervously watching the clock, convinced that the end of the age could happen at any moment. For those who hold to rapture prophecy, today is not just another date on the calendar. It could be the day when everything changes. Their social media feeds are full of countdowns, prayer meetings, and urgent warnings. Whether you're a believer or a skeptic, understanding why people think this way is essential. The rapture theory is more than just an internet rumor. It's a long-standing interpretation of biblical prophecy that has shaped religious movements, politics, and personal lives for more than a century. The word rapture does not appear in the English Bible, but the idea comes from passages like 1 Thessalonians 4:16-17, where the Apostle Paul writes of believers being caught up to meet Christ in the air. The Latin translation of caught up is rapamur, which became rapture in English. Over time, some theologians developed the belief that before a period of worldwide tribulation or divine judgment, Christians would be suddenly taken from earth to be with Christ. This teaching, especially in its modern, detailed form, became popular in the 19th and 20th centuries through figures like John Nelson Darby and the rise of dispensational theology. Books like The Late Great Planet Earth and the Left Behind series later brought the idea into mainstream popular culture. Why do some people point to specific dates, like today, as the likely moment? Prophecy teachers often look for patterns in biblical numbers, Jewish feast days, or astronomical events. For example, they may note that major biblical festivals such as Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year, are described in the Bible with trumpet blasts and themes of judgment, which they connect with Paul's reference to the last trumpet in 1 Corinthians 15:52. When a significant feast day aligns with unusual world events, wars, pandemics, eclipses, red moons, it can strengthen the conviction that the rapture is imminent. Social media accelerates this process by allowing predictions and videos to go viral overnight, reaching millions who may not have heard of the theory before. Another reason the rapture theory resonates is that it provides a framework for making sense of a chaotic world. Economic instability, moral decline, geopolitical conflict, and natural disasters all feel like signs of approaching crisis. For believers, the promise of the rapture offers hope, a divine rescue from the worst tribulations humanity might face. For skeptics, however, these same predictions can seem like fear-based speculation. Historically, every generation has had figures who set dates for the end of the world, from William Miller in the 1840s to Harold Camping in 2011, only to see the day pass without incident. Yet, failed predictions rarely end the movement. Instead, interest often surges again with the next set of dates. It's also important to understand that not all Christians believe in the rapture as it is popularly taught. Many denominations view the passages about being caught up as symbolic of the final resurrection at Christ's second coming, not a secret or separate event. Others believe in a post-tribulation or mid-tribulation rapture rather than a pre-tribulation one. Some argue that the fascination with date setting distracts from the Bible's repeated emphasis on living faithfully at all times, since no one knows the day or the hour. Matthew 24:36. This diversity of views within Christianity often surprises those who only encounter the topic through sensational headlines. Psychologically, the appeal of end-time predictions has been studied by sociologists and historians. When people feel powerless in the face of large-scale change, prophecy offers a narrative that gives events meaning and portrays them as part of a divine plan. Even failed prophecies can strengthen group cohesion. Members often reinterpret the experience as a test of faith or a warning to be more vigilant. In this sense, the rapture theory isn't just about theology. It's about how communities form and maintain identity under stress. Today's specific prediction, whatever date you're reading this on, fits that pattern. A cluster of online teachers may have pointed to a convergence of signs, feast days, or numerology that seems compelling to them. Some believers will fast, pray, and prepare. Others will go about life but remain watchful. If nothing happens, many will feel relief, some will feel disappointment, and a few will double down on the next projected date. This cycle has repeated for decades, but each time it draws in new audiences who are experiencing global anxiety for the first time. For those outside the movement, it can be tempting to dismiss all of this as mere hysteria, but it's worth recognizing that the hope behind the rapture is deeply rooted in the human longing for justice, deliverance, and the fulfillment of promises. The imagery of being caught up is not primarily about escape. For many, it symbolizes reunion with loved ones, the end of suffering, and the vindication of faith. Even if one does not share the belief, understanding its emotional and spiritual appeal can foster empathy rather than ridicule. So, what should you do if you're reading this on the day some predict the world will end? First, breathe. History suggests that the day will likely pass as all others have. Second, learn about the origins of the belief. Read the passages in context, consult multiple perspectives, and understand the range of interpretations within Christianity. Third, if you have friends or family who are worried, listen to them with compassion rather than scorn. Fear of the future is a powerful thing, and dismissing it rarely helps. Finally, whether or not the rapture occurs today, the central message of Jesus and the New Testament remains. Live with readiness, faith, and love every day. In that sense, the urgency many feel right now can be turned toward positive action, mending relationships, practicing generosity, and reflecting on what really matters. Even for skeptics, there's value in pausing to consider how we would live if time felt short. The rapture theory will likely continue to capture imaginations as long as people read prophecy through the lens of current events. Today's prediction is part of a much larger story, a story about how humans seek meaning, hope, and a sense of control in an uncertain world. Whether or not the world ends today, our fascination with its ending tells us something profound about ourselves.